Well, we're back for another edition of Compy's Council. And who do we got before us today? We have Rikishi. Rikishi was a featured member of last month's event, the family event, and was then subsequently given away pretty frequently in the Winter Madness boxes, and here he is. It's interesting about Rikishi because part of the value of Rikishi, and most of it actually, is his unique coaching. And I note it's a coach, not a trainer. And let's take a look and see specifically what it is. He adds in his coaching an additional yellow match with an MP. So what does that really mean? What it means is, for a guy who's a 6 charge or a 10 charge, either one with a 6 charge, his move will be ready on turn 2 instead of turn 3. Or, in the case of a 10 charge, it'll be ready on turn 2. So who are the people that fit into this? And we'll end up, myself and Jolie will release a list of characters that benefit. We're kind of going through it now because this really changes the dynamic of the game. Because either it speeds people up where you can take an MP trainer off, or it'll really speed somebody up, like a Charlotte, for example, is now turn 2 with a 10 charge yellow. Further, guys who, for example, are either 11 or 12 charges, it'll only require a 1 charge for turn 3. Or in the case, as I indicated before, you know, if you don't go with MP trainer, 2 matches will get you to a 12 charge by turn 4. So it really changes things. Now, how do we run them? It seems pretty obvious that you need to run the 2 yellows together because of the protect gems. And then here with the red move, we have the 5x1 red move, which kind of will recycle it and get it going. Now the issue you have, and you can see the really small print, and we can thank the super long descriptions, which I found out pretty much the entire Scopely staff bust Jeff's balls about the fact that he writes these long descriptive finishers. But in the crux of it is that his finisher is 26k, and he basically has a layer of 4 protect gems, which at the end of the day, 4 is 28. We're not talking about a whole lot of protect gem damage here, because 28 at 200 a pop really just, you know, we're talking about maybe 5,000 total. You know, a little bit more. It's not a whole lot of protect, so really it's not helping you unless they do break these trap gems, and that's kind of how it's set up, where you have these 7 protect gems become trap, and then in that case, then you'll get an additional 4,000 in protect coverage per break. So it kind of helps you build that up. Additionally, we need to understand the fact that, remember, it's each pin and each kick out over and above the protects that eat into the damage. So really, we need a big buffer. So how do we play this? Again, let's look at his other moves. His other moves aren't overly exciting, other than the fact that right here you can see that red move. It steals the 4 MP. So if you face a guy like Warrior or Goldberg, or you know, a Harlem Heat or a Savage Showboat, you pretty much are an automatic win because you're taking 4 MP from each of the yellow moves, and then your finisher's ready turn 2, and you just keep cycling. So the steel guys do have a lot of value if you happen to face someone who is a quote-unquote Enzo guy, but there aren't a whole lot of guys who are Enzo guys. It also can work if you're facing the dreaded Andre the Giant Showboat in a feud. The 2 blue moves, you know, you're really piling on if you want to run the Enzo. If you want to run Enzo with the protect gems, it'll put you in a better spot. The problem is it really doesn't help you on the recycle, and as you'll see, you're not going to win turn 2, turn 3 here, because you really need to have a few cycles to get out the better protect gems. The 6 charge is nice. Perhaps down the road, once I get Andre up to 9,000, we can take a look at it, because then you can get it out turn 2. And if we're in a situation here where we're looking at Andre to do blue match, yellow match, then by turn 3, we'll have both the protect gems at, you know, 8, 9 a pop, in addition to the finisher and the bottom gems. So that might be something you might want to play with if you have the coaching abilities ready for you. Obviously, he can't coach himself, so even with Enzo, you're looking at best turn 3, where the finisher will be ready. Let's take a look at how we're going to run them. Trainer-wise, we're going to want the Sting Trainer ability here. We want the Sting Trainer ability mainly because we want to get to that red move, which, as long as we get that red move out, then it should be able to get us home with the yellows. Additionally, now this has been debated a good amount. You can go with Jinder if you really want to. The problem is Jinder is really a randomness here, and you're talking about an extra step to get out the protects. I prefer the additional buff and the additional damage, because what it does is if we go get more on the finisher, it gives us more of a chance to get the traps out and to potentially win. So, you know, the move here is going to be Big E. So you can see I have Big E very close to 5,000, but not there yet. I mean, we all have so many places to put coins. I am having a tough time justifying 700,000, 800,000 to get him to 5,000 on Rikishi, who is not really a feuder for me. I mean, I use him as much for the coaching ability. Yes, he can nerf. And the trap gem is a real nice dynamic. So let's take a look. We're going to play with him a little bit here. We're going to face Jinder, who's a similar 4-star, one of those on the bottom end. This is my morning coffee. Nice bright and early videos for you guys before I have to head to court down in Burlington County, which is the southern county of New Jersey. Now, I've also found, and we're going to see if it happens here, that Rikishi has been causing some glitching going on in the game for me, both in that when you break his subsequent traps, the pin bar immediately moves, so that creates all kinds of issues. Let's see if any of them come to light here. So I chase my red because I want that red move ready to go. Here's Jinder. He's running a red, purple setup. Not awful. Just as before, you can see here my pause menu comes up, which is strange and weird. So, okay. So here, what do we want to do? Now, we know the pin bar's in the middle. So that creates an interesting situation because it's probably going to force a pin. The other issue here, now, here's what I'm going to do. Ooh, it's one short. I was really hoping, because after this we're likely going to get another match, I was hoping to set up another yellow where we can kind of go from there, but it looks like that won't happen. As you probably guys are aware, one of these gems here on this row is going to be a wild card, so potentially what it can do is help us recycle that red already, since it looks like the yellow, see the wild card came down over there, and that's where it is. So the idea was either to get it there or on that column 2 or 3 over. So here's Jinder hitting us. His choose red is up and going. We're going to leave that purple alone. We're going to get that right off the board. Let's see. And ideally we want to still preserve, if we can, the yellow. And then we'll just wipe out that entire row. Okay. So let's talk turkey. So what we have here is we're going to get our bottom rows set to go. So now, there's a couple questions here. Ideally, what we want to do, as we can see, it looks like Jinder has double traps. So that was nice of them to give him double moves. What we're going to do is we're going to go for the purple instead of the yellow. Mainly because what we want to do is when we do our finisher next turn, we want them to break potential protect gems, which set off traps. So by eliminating additional matches, then it puts us in a better spot. Right, so there we go. Now, the finisher, what it's going to do is it's going to put 7 of these trap gems on the protect gems. And we're hopeful that he hits. So let's see where they go. There's tons of matches there. Maybe let's see. Okay, he gets his purple match, which does not help us. And here, now you can see the difference. And he broke a few. Oh, and look at that. I mean, where does that come from? We would have actually got him, it looks like, there. But the first cycle through, we don't get anything in terms of victory on Ginger. Now, you can see the difference, and let's take a look here. So, you see the difference. These up here are 1751 damage and 1575, whereas the ones on the bottom down here are a mere 275. So it's really important to have them break the traps. Now this, what I'm about to show you, is exactly what I brought. Oh, it stinks. I was going to say it would automatically show us what I was talking about in terms of automatic pin. I'm not going to do it now because it's going to cause a pin, and we'll see if he breaks it. But I wanted to prove a point about the pin bar. Let's see. Let's see if he breaks it. I'm actually hoping he doesn't. Well, he did break the trap. I was actually hoping he wasn't going to break it so that I could show exactly what we were talking about. But see, what's going on right now is when I break the trap gem, regardless of where the pin bar is, it'll force a pin, which is actually good because of the fact that we have the trap gems, in existence. Now this is cool. Where before, where you would layer something over, let's say, a trap, or some of your other gems, the traps remain. So you can see that one over there, the loot box in that last column. The trap remains. So it's kind of cool that they at least made that fix there. Let's take a look here. And I don't think we're going to be able to show the glitch that I was speaking of, because Ginger was breaking so many gems. So right here, it kind of stinks here because of the fact that these are the higher protects. But we hit it here. And now we'll double layer it again. Double layer. It just changes a few things, but it's more just the move damage right there. And then here's the finisher. And this time he's done. So, minimal damage here. We actually could have got him if you saw on turn 3, if not for that random crazy cascade at the top. He's not overly fast, but he's usable. He's usable. He doesn't incur a lot of damage, which is a good thing. What we're going to do next, and hopefully I can show you exactly what I mean with the trap gems, is we'll face British Bulldog next. We'll go right along. Slowly loading. I wonder if the pause menu is a result of basically the emulator not being overly stable. On my own phone, when I kind of move the screen to the side, or potentially, not a force close, but move the screen, that's when the pause menu always pops up. I wonder if that's related to the stability of the emulator. Perhaps one day we'll get an answer to that. Okay, now let's take a look at Davy Boy. Okay. We'll just leave the health as it is. No need to heal. Now again, the reason we're using Big E is not only the damage end, is it gives you more of an opportunity to, potentially win with the protects and to get those protects out. Because the lower the damage, one match, if it's like, let's say, with the multiplier, if it's 27, it's over in that context. Where here, gives us a little bit more wiggle room. Okay, so we don't have a red match. We'll go get our yellows to start and hope that we fall into a red match. And there's Davy Boy. He's going to hit us, and he's going to hit us hard. One of the more underrated characters, I would say, in the game is Davy Boy. He's very usable. I think part of it, sometimes when you have individuals that tout someone to the degree that others do, or just are generally marks, I think it turns people off to the character, and I think that's really what happened. Let's see what we got here. Here's his Row Destroy, and off he goes again. Still no red match. So we're going to have to go with the yellow here. Let's get another yellow. I believe this is his don't move the pin bar move, which is just brutal. And somewhat underrated. Again, just you can kind of see him doing some damage on us. You know, it's... You know, if you don't get any matches, it is what it is. So here's what we're going to take a look at. We're going to lay it down just as we talked about before. Lay our rows of protects. And you have to have this move in effect. If you don't, it really negates the whole point of the finisher. So, you know, those thinking about running like, you know, the blue setup or anything like, it's just not going to work. You need to have these protects out there so that they are broken and you can get the bigger ones. So let's take a look what he does here. Okay, so there we go. We got a couple of the better protects in effect. He cascades there, breaks there. Okay, so let's see what we can do. Just to kind of, I want to illustrate the auto pin, but I probably have to wait on it. So this will set us up pretty nicely. Okay. All right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use our head here, and this is, you know, kind of pinball. This is Pinbar 101. Now, see, here we are. What we are is we can do one match, and because remember we got the wild card, so we can do one match here and not force a pin. However, again, if we go for these traps, and it's important to note, and I didn't really talk about it, that if I break one of these, I gain red MP. The problem is, as I indicated before, is that it forces a pin. So I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get this purple, okay, and then we get our extra turn, and then here we go with the finisher. So we gain the turn, and we gain the extra turn even with the finisher. So the finishers come back out. We're going to get some more trap gems on the board. And I don't think he's getting out of this one. Okay. We're going to do one more match just because I want to illustrate the glitch. Let's see who I can face that's a little bit overpowered. In that way, it absolutely forces me to have a longer match. But you can see that was pretty quick there. We have a couple strikers up here whose health are normally a little low. There's a Bobby Roode on the tour. I also know there's a Silver Kurt Hennig around here somewhere. Let's see what we got. We'll do one more for you guys. See, that Corbin won't have enough health. Neither will the Boss Man. I don't even mind if we lose. I just want to kind of illustrate to you guys. Here we go. Here's a Kurt Hennig. That's fine. And what'll be good about the Kurt Hennig is we potentially might see the pin issue come into effect. Alright, so we're going to heal him up, and off we go. Okay, we get our red match. Let's take out the green match with it. Alright, and we should be off and running. Put it right here, smack dab in the middle. I'm just making sure we don't want to do anything else. Yeah, this will be nice. And a red on top. Okay. Very nice. Hennig running the the older build, the non-recycle build, which should help us again with the trap gem issue. Alright, let's get our protect gems down. Finish her out. And we'll see where... It doesn't look like there's a whole lot of matches in there. But he should get the green, I think. Yeah, there we go. Okay, maybe not. There it is. There's our green. Alright. So this is what's going to be... And boom, again. Alright, so he broke a whole lot of protects there. A whole lot of them. Now, what I'm curious about is... We'll see if the glitch comes in. I don't see any matches for me. What I will do here, though, is we'll take out a couple of our protects while taking out a couple yellows to help that out. So here he goes. Now let's see if he breaks that trap gem. Let's take a look. He's going to. Now let's watch this. See the pin bar move? So he just did his finisher on me, and it didn't finish him. And I actually didn't even pin. And look at him going crazy. See, what happens is when the trap gems get broken, the pin bar moves. He literally just did the perfect plex on me, and it didn't pin. I noticed this initially with Shawn Michaels during one of our feuds, and it just kept on going. So there's absolutely a glitch with respect to the pin bar movements with Rikishi's trap gems. See, this time there's no trap gems out there, so the perfect plex will pin me. See, there it is. So as a result, you can kind of see just, I mean, it was just a general shit show here. I'm trying to see if I can preserve that 5. Doesn't look like it's going to happen, but alright. But now you guys see exactly what I was referencing when we were talking about the glitch. And as a result, I mean, he got off like 4 straight moves because the finisher didn't finish me. And, you know, off he went. Alright, so we're going to lay it down. And this might do it for him. We'll see, though. See what the traps do. Okay. Alright, so he kicked out. Let's see if I can get it to show you guys what I'm talking about here. Alright, so here we are here. I'm going to match these 3 traps. Great move, right? Because as we can see, with the each match gets me 3 MP. So that's awesome. So all of a sudden, this move will be ready to go since it's a 9 charge. However, see where the pin bar is? The pin bar would require about 14 gems to cause a pin. Okay? Again, assuming that the opponent's not in danger, which he's not going to be. However, let's take a look. Boom. And he's pinned. So, you know, it's real good, just especially with the traps here, to kind of show, you know, to kind of force the pin, which would have won, but you can just see it automatically forces a pin. And when the opponent breaks it, you saw the glitch there. I mean, it moved the pin bar over, even though I should have been pinned. He got the perfect plex off, and then he got 5 other moves off because of all the wild cards. So this kind of, hopefully it helps the, you know, the tech team show, and apparently I'm ranking up to 229. Keep on keeping on. But you can kind of see how Rikishi works. He's a great coach. You can see he's pretty useful as a player. He's pretty fun as a player. And, he'll be the first of a series of coaches that I'm going to release. HBK, DX should be next, because he really helps a lot of people, specifically, ravishing Rick Rude among, he really pushes Rick Rude up, because his 10 MP choose then becomes turn 2, and off you go. So, we'll talk soon. Enjoy, and I'll see you later, and try to stay warm.